This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 8. And I saw when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I had put her away and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not, but went and played the harlot also. First and foremost, especially in these times today, I want to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son, and the Holy Spirit, spoken in the Lashon HaKodash, the Holy Tongue. The original language of you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, because you are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father, the Lord. All right. Double honors into the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the heads and elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do rule well, who have learned this 100% truth from, are the true leaders of all Israel today. Peace and salutations to the tabernacle of David, those predestined spirits of election scattered abroad, starting with the governing body in the kingdom to come, the 144,000, 12,000 men, the prophets of each tribe of Israel, as well as the innumerable multitude scattered abroad. This is your brother Tazapanya of the Great Millstone, Washington, D.C. Church, Adawan Ratazah, Lord willing. This exhortation, admonition, and digital epistle, this is edifying unto the elect, Lord willing, straight to the point. So this cornball Anton Daniels, but this was a video commentary that he did that I thought would be very edifying as he's doing a commentary on this TikTok video of Jake when I don't know if he's a local or he's a Houstonian or he went down to Houston or whatever, but in his caption on the TikTok video, it says Black Americans / FBA women are a total embarrassment. Houston rodeo exposed FBA women for what they are. Well, the rodeo didn't expose anything. The prophets has been exposing, okay, what the now one FBA is what? It is in my spiritual opinion, a a social political construct created by the CIA, all right, that was given to Tariq Nasheed, the owner and creator of Hidden Colors and things of that nature, all right, meaning foundational Black American, basically those that was the beginning, and have much of generations living on this land that they call the United States of America. All right. What one would call the so-called Black American. We would understand them as either the tribe of Judah or the tribe of Reuben or Gad. And that's why FBA is nonsense. Because, for instance, right, he is talking about Black American / FBA women, okay, trying to equate the two, or maybe he could be trying to differentiate just, Black people in general, because a so-called Benjamite or Levite woman could go out, and for that nature, maybe even Reuben or Gad women as well, because of the miscegenation throughout the years, could have went to the Houston rodeo and done some shit, and then you're blaming the tribe of Judah and their women on it, and not even knowing that they're not even of that same tribe. I could have went to Houston, and people, which is an experience that happened in my life, people thinking that they wouldn't say of the tribe of Judah, but they'll be like, "Oh, I thought you was just American," and I'll be like, "Nah, my mother was born and raised in Panama, speak Spanish, okay, moved to Brooklyn, okay, in the early 70s. All right, my father, same thing. If not the early 70s, the 60s. All right, moved to Brooklyn. Mother moved to East New York. My father moved to East Flatbush, so-called Jamaican. Okay, so if you from New York City, you understand them neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying in the demographics of the neighborhoods. Benjamin, all up and down Flatbush, the East Flatbush. All right, and then you got Simeon, uh, uh, Ephraim, Judah, Benjamin, all right, and Zebulon, all right, that is all up in East New York. A lot of the Latin tribes, a lot of darker Latin tribes. You see what I'm saying? That's why I said Judah as well. All right, but the point is there is no differentiating Judah from Levi and Benjamin. Okay, so you don't know. This is why at the end of the day we can tell through the spirit beareth witness that we are Israelites. We're the sons of the living God. We are Yasha Allah. All right. But to go back into the point, he's about to explain how things went down in Houston, and then I'm gonna filter it through the scriptures because specifically Great Millstone. Like you have your, I'm not even gonna call him. No, yeah, I'm gonna call him what Elder Kasab called him, the content creator Tazariak, because he's really no captain. Content creator Tazariak learned from GMS, but wanted to join up with ISUPK because of us bringing out the truth in regards to KIESHA. So Great Millstone compared to ISUPK, IUIC, GOCC, HOY, because HOY and WFI and these others, they allow their women to come to camp, to the battlefield, and stand on the side, sipping on their little Stanley cup, you feel me, with a beach chair, as they as arguments and police and scoffers come up, and the potential of anything could happen, which is retarded. How are you protecting your woman by allowing her to come to camp with you? But anyway, so Great Millstone is the ones that have been pushing, all right, and exposing, all right, of everybody, not just the woman. But since this topic is on women, we're gonna stick to that, specifically of KIESHA, because the Latin tribes, Maria and Pocahontas, follow up behind KIESHA, man, which is a stereotypical name that we like to give unto the spirit, unto these scoundrels of these fast FBA so-called black women, which they're Juditis, all right, of the tribe of Judah, man. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna let this play, and I'm gonna get some scriptures. And that is why, matter of fact, and that's why I quoted Jeremiah 3:8. I'm gonna read it again. And I saw when for all causes whereby backsliding Israel. So Israel in this context is referring to the northern kingdom. All right. And the northern kingdom was doing a bunch of idolatry, and that idolatry leads to other sins, man. You start worshiping other gods. These other gods have different spirits and different rituals that they do in order to please their false god. So these northern Ammonites, the Moabites, the Canaanites, all right, and things of that nature in their proximity, all right, and then it led to them and their women to be doing some foul shit. So it says it committed adultery. Adultery is that spiritual fornication. All right, like I said, idolatry. You was married to Yahweh, and you started to commit adultery by worshiping or having covenants or having spiritual fornication, sex, spiritually speaking, right? Letting things enter inside of you, these other philosophies and ideologies of these other pseudo false gods, false powers. And it says, I had put away. So the Lord put away the northern kingdom. But what does that mean? He allowed the Assyrians to overtake the northern kingdom, all right, and put them into slavery. It says, and given her a bill of divorce. Right. That bill of divorce was her not coming back to the land again. You was discontinued from your heritage. All right. The Lord, through inheritance, gave you plots of land. And therefore, he allowed heathen nations to take over your land. That's why you in a land now that ain't really your land. You got so-called Native Americans and Latinos, especially Issachar. Oh, this was our land. This used to be Mexico. But look how they treating you. All right. How you gonna say that, oh, this is our land, but then they could kick your ass out at any point in time? And I'm talking about Esau, the so-called white man. So it show you it ain't really your land. Yeah, it used to be. All right, but it ain't yours. All right. And then this land is going to be turned into the lake of fire anyway. So continuing on, it says, yet her treacherous sister Judah feared not. So all the men, women, and children and the elderly of the southern kingdom, so-called, so-called black Haitians and West Indians today, right? They saw what happened to their brothers and sisters of the Northern Kingdom, and that didn't scare them to repent and be better. They said, "Fuck it, we gonna do what they did, but worse." All right. It says, "But Wetton played the harlot also." All right. So yeah, so the FBA woman, the Judite woman, Keisha, is at the top of the pyramid, atop of the totem pole when it comes to harlotry and wickedness amongst the women of our nation, greater than Maria and Pocahontas. But they gonna get their shit too. All of these women, especially in America. But continuing on,
Black American women embarrassed us so bad for the Houston rodeo that like this have to be talked about. And we've been telling y'all this. We've been telling y'all that Black American women, FBA women, have they ass out everywhere you go. Bro, it's no way. Like y'all have to be naked everywhere. Like in you have to be a man to understand. We get on the internet, we see your ass. We go to the store, we see your ass. We go to a event, we see your ass every day. Y'all do not know how to dress at all. Y'all dress so indecent. Like it's like y'all are just begging for sexual attention 24 hours a day. It don't matter if y'all are in front of children. It doesn't matter if y'all in front of elders. It don't matter if y'all in a professional setting. Even if y'all are nurse, y'all have to show your ass every time. Bro, we are tired of y'all. We are tired of y'all, bro. It's like y'all talk about y'all have culture. Y'all don't have culture. Now stop me when he starts.
so the prophets have been saying that this black culture should people be trying to say, yeah, well, African Americans have culture. Like he just said, y'all don't. And if you do, then it was given to you by the devil, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. You was given certain things, holidays, certain cuisines, certain dress and fashion styles. All right, and things of that nature, even down to music, songs, arts, and things of that nature. And you took it from them, and then you put your little season on it. All right, and wanted to start calling it, oh, black culture. Black culture is nothing but death, murder, adultery, all right, and lewdness. And the reason why I use the word lewdness, because we're gonna get that scripture in Tobit, and then get the etymology of it, all right, and filter it, all right, through the scriptures based upon this video that we watching, man. Let's hear what this cornball gotta say.
First to lie. Stop me when he actually says something. And it's just your turn right now. It's your turn. We spent a lot of time on liberal white women and how they was out here chasing ICE officers. And I just did a video about a woman that was threatening the Trump administration. It's your time. Don't feel like a victim. Don't sit here and say that anybody is taking your dog. None of that stuff. It is your time to be held accountable for the things that y'all are doing. And with
So it's sad because even us sometimes I'll be noticing it, right? Because men, we have pattern recognition, right? I even seen the apostles sometimes even have to do it, and it's kind of sad that we even have to do it. And with everybody else is no problem. We come at them, we expose them, we bring out the wickedness as we supposed to as a prophet. But then when you start talking about Keisha and the black woman, it's like you got to give a disclaimer, just like Anton Daniels just said, like, oh, okay, don't, it's your time now, so don't try to victim and play this and like we don't talk. I just was talking about white women, so go look at the receipts. All right, so you can't say that. Oh, all he do is bash black women and da da da. Da. It's like the brothers would say to the point now. Shalom to the Akim and then the very 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 few sisters as. So it's like even to a certain degree, because of the woman is our glory and we love women, we do. But then we have to even just for y'all to understand that like this thing is not about you. You're not the highest priority in this truth or according to the most high. It is what it is, point blank, period. So when we bring you up, he want to come at, they hate women and he want to, he's a misogynist. He hates women. He want to come at the black. You never talk about nobody else. What the fuck are you talking about? You are a part of the problem of the wickedness that's within any, when hand joined in hand, they shall surely not go unpunished. You want to join in with this devil, you're going to reap the rewards of the wickedness that this devil has done. Period, man. So yeah, it is your time. But see, accountability is kryptonite, right? You can't take accountability, so the first thing you do is projection and gaslight, right? And want to try to throw shit back and deflect all of these new type of social media words that niggas is using in order for you to somehow understand. But see, in Job it says that he has deprived her of wisdom and understanding. So this is why we're saying things over and over again, and then the majority of KIESHA just don't understand because they can't. They don't have the mental capacity to. That's like you trying to explain to the average, because you got kids that's able to do thermodynamics and and college algebra, trigonometry, electrical engineering, beginner courses, and you know what I'm saying, mechanics of materials, and these type of college courses. But that's like trying to explain, all right, algebra two to a 3-year-old. They're not going to get it. They're not going to understand x equals 2y. Okay, what is x is 3. What is y equal? They can't do that yet. You feel me? They have to grow and learn. So, let's continue.
You putting out there in social media. And what I see, especially from Houston and everybody running down there in Daytona Beach, we know that the police over there in Daytona Beach, the police chief and in Orlando and stuff like that, they are sick of y'all. They hate to see you coming. That's crazy that they hate to see you come. Restaurant owners hate to see you coming because they already know that not only is it a possibility for you to cause a problem, and obviously this is not applicable to all black people, but for people that are in a culture, that are embracing a culture, they already know it's gonna come with an issue. It's gonna come with you putting your hair in your food, bad tip, going off on a server, making a social media post, going down to Houston for the rodeo and having your butt cheeks out when it's a family friendly event, and you acting like you don't understand what's going on, and then you're gonna run around and act like you're a victim all of a sudden, and it's gonna be everybody else's fault. It's never gonna be your fault. There's never any accountability. Loud, wrong, and not accountable for anything. And people wonder why the culture is what it is. And it's because the ones that are the loudest are usually the ones that are wrong. And so when they start to defend themselves against the accusations, it's not with changed behavior.
Notice how you said the ones that are the loudest are the ones that are actually wrong. That's actually in the scriptures, and it's actually referring to women. This is Proverbs chapter 9 and 13. It says, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing. Clamorous means argumentative, loud. Let's go and get it in the concordance. Clamorous is uh hama, or hamaya, and it means to murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, mourn, rage, sound, make noise, tumult, be clamorous, be disquieted, be loud, be moved, be troubled, be in an uproar, be boisterous, be turbulent. Doesn't this sound like all these young hoes, as they refer to themselves on TikTok, that they out there in these? See, I've been to Spring Breach. This was before I was in the. I've been a Spring Breach, Spring Break. Anybody down south, they know about PCB, Panama City Beach. You see what I'm saying? When I was out there in, Alabama and all that, Huntsville, right? Big up to Rocket City, Hunts, Vegas. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I know what go down, and I know the difference of the culture. Esau, they'll drink their beers. You feel me? The what's the name? Becky, she might show her titties or some shit, like girls going wild back in the day or something. But they not fucking in broad daylight, you know. They not a in a circle throwing their ass in a circle, you know. Uh, I was thinking of that song. Uh, in a circle. That's right. You know, they not getting drunk, throwing up for the most. They they might do some shit like that, but you know what I'm saying. They not fighting. They not bringing guns to the beach. You know what I'm saying. This is all in broad daylight. That so you can imagine. What was going down in the ancient world with Jake, man. Just that orgy, loud, festive, um, extra over the top, ODing with it type of spirit, man. You know, Women giving head on the, at least, on spring break, Karen, Becky would wait till nighttime or something, and they'll get caught by the police maybe on one of them ATVs or something. But this shit is wild, son. This shit is wild. So this shows you that we at the end of these days, and the Lord is about to come back and destroy a lot of these women, a lot of them.
Behavior and an example of how they hold each other accountable. It's usually with more anger and upsetting because we don't sit there and allow for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. And you say everything that's wrong. You say baby behind it. You say a time was had. You do this, and this actually came from a disabled gay man on the internet, and so you follow him, and you're loud and wrong. You've been used as a trope against other black people in the way that you vote. It's just wrong all across the board. And now you down there in Houston embarrassing yourself, embarrassing other people. And contrary to popular belief, you are an extension of the culture, and so you're a representation of what's wrong because reputations and stereotypes are earned, they are not given. And so now y'all in Houston looking dumb, embarrassing yourself, right, in front of the little kids. Used to be a great event, and now everybody's on the internet saying, "Oh man, it got ruined." Oh, you know who ruined it? You know what came? You know what came? Getting arrested, fighting, guns, sex, all in the car in front of the little kids and stuff like that. And then you get mad at the people that didn't call it out because it's old, it's tired. Ain't it? When is it ever gonna be time for you to stop? When is it ever going to be time for you to say, you know what, we need to get our lives together and stop being the negative representation of what people talk about on a regular basis as a group, as a collective? I'm going to do my individual part to not make everybody else look stupid that look like me. When? That's all I'm saying. When is it going to be your turn? That's all I'm asking. Y'all don't even know how to dress. The one of the main components of a culture is how people dress. What does that tell you about the Black American culture? Women represent culture. Women are culture. Men aren't culture. We are law. Women are culture. And if your women is willing to dress indecently in front of fucking children, what is your fucking culture? I can tell you what it is.
That statement, women are not culture, but I know what he means by that, because when you go into the word culture, right, it's in referring to a cult, right, and it means worship or homage. So it's how you worship. The women, they're not in any type of way a part of the priesthood in regards to how you're supposed to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahweh. Okay, they're not doing the ceremonies and the solemn assemblies and the congregations and the convocations, all right, that was given unto. They don't have three times out the year. Females shall go to Jerusalem. No, that's for the males of Israel. Even when you look up children of Israel in the Hebrew, that children is banyam, which means sons. Okay, so I don't know but anyway,
are no different from those women in South America that y'all talk about. Y'all are fucking 304s.
So notice how so now he's referring KIESHA to their counterparts, right? The northern tribes, Israel, Ephraim, which is a epithet, but it's also a tribe, but an epithet for all of the northern kingdom tribes, being the chief tribe. of the Northern Kingdom. Ephraimites are your so-called Puerto Ricans, but so she's really talking about Asher. All right, if he's saying specifically South America, like Brazil or Colombia, all right, and how they selling their bodies and shit like that and getting BBLs and the sex tourism with the passport bros and things of that nature. But and want to talk about Judah men going down there to get their rocks off. You see what I'm saying? With prettier women that have real hair, okay, but then would come back and be like, yo, I don't even want to date. Like these women out here I'm having a fun time and they giving me the feeling as if they actually like me for a cheaper price because dealing with women, money's going to be involved no matter what. So now they tight. But and what do? They throw insults when they don't like you. So they trying to insult their sisters in South America. So that's why he used that comparison.
Y'all are your fucking grandmother is rolling in our fucking grave because y'all are fucking indecent. Them women fought for y'all ass to be here doing the shit that y'all doing now, dressing the way y'all are dressing now. Y'all are nothing but fucking white liberals. That's all y'all are.
You see that? So notice how he said you're nothing but white liberals, right? So the scriptures say, envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. So the prophets through faith, we are saying that you have made that Gardinian pact, which is nothing but the agreement that was made uh, through and proved through action with the serpent and Eve back in the day, because Eve was a dark-skinned woman with woolly hair. Okay, and she agreed and then through action consumed and applied the wisdom and the ideologies of evil that was taught to her through the warlock of the serpent, which was nothing but a metaphor for a individual that had the spirit, or that was the spirit that it was eventually going to be reincarnated in the Cain and then reincarnated in the Esau, which is the wicked. So this was the wicked spirit, all right, of a nation of witchcraft, diviners, prognosticators, so on and so forth. And then you didn't ate that fruit, which like I gave, which what it really was. All right, you took what you learned and then applied it. All right, and that was a sin, a transgression of the law that was told to you, okay, by your husband, which via through the Most High. The Most High told Adam, Adam told Eve, Eve went off and then tried to what's the name persuade Adam to do so, and he listened to a inferior, his woman, and then we're in the situation that we are today. In the scriptures, it says, uh, uh, what is it? Through Eve came the beginning, through the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Okay, because what? The wages of sin is death. So that means that through her, through the original woman, and when we say the original woman, because there was other women, beasts of the field, there was other women of the field, but the woman that he took that was of a close familial line, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, right? Go and look up the old Genesis 1, 2, and 3 breakdowns. Okay. Was of a close kinship to Adam, and then took her from her family and brought her to him to be his helpmate, to rule over everything. Because Adam was the first, king high priest. All right. In Eden, specifically the Garden of Eden. Okay. And then she went off. But to continue on, let me now go get um First Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9. It says, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. Yeah, going to the Houston rodeo with some cowboy boots, and these aren't no fucking Becky Daisy Dukes. Becky would wear Daisy Dukes where you barely see the cuff of the ass at the bottom. But Keisha want to go all out, and she'll take the scissors and cut the back pockets of some Levi jeans to where they literally like a G string. and literally have her each ass cheek out, so when she walk, you could see the water jiggle from every hip rotation as she's strutting through the streets. For what? For attention. Because every man and woman, if her body real right and that ass real right, they gonna look. And that shit busts mental nuts to her. You feel me? That shit, I don't know that, you know what I'm saying? That mental nut type feeling, like, you feel me? But their heads is fucked up. You feel me? They could do that, not have sex and be satisfied, because that's how much attention secretes, the brain secretes dopamine when the people look at them, you know. So that's not modest apparel. All women supposed to be in modest apparel. Continuing on, First Timothy 2:9, with shamefacedness, they don't have no shame, and sobriety, they over there getting drunk. All right, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array, and not saying that that shit is wicked, but their emphasis is on braiding their hair, wearing jewelry, all right, and having all the design. I mean, you could tell this talking about Jake. Who the one that's broiding or plaiting when you go into it, braids, cornrows, whatever, their hair on the side of their head, and let the, they up part, they all type of names. Who the one that's rocking the gold and the diamonds? All right. Who's the one that's in Balenciaga and trying to show it off, Birkin? It says, but which becometh women professing godliness. So it's a process. It says, becometh. So you're supposed to become a woman. What is a woman? A woman in the etymology means wife, well, wife means women. A woman means a female servant. So who you serving? You're supposed to be serving your husband, but your husband now is the white man. That's why you say you're nothing but a white liberal. It says with good works. So let's continue.
Y'all are hillbillies. That's why Thomas Sowell, who wrote White liberals and black rednecks, y'all are fucking rednecks. In FBA and black Americans, y'all talk about fucking Africans all fucking day. But Africans don't shame their fucking elders like that. They don't shame their elders like that. You're
Not to a certain degree. You feel me? Because once you start to meet West Central Africans, we're not told, you can't group the whole continent. If you're gonna talk about, and that's the thing with niggas that's lost. All right. If you're talking about East Africans, North Africans, right? Then I could agree with you. But a small to medium sized population in South Africa, but the majority in Central and West Africa, oh nah, they definitely disrespect their elders now. Maybe not 20 years ago. All right. But if you go to Accra, Ghana, you go to Lagos, Nigeria, all right. You go to what else? Uh Even certain places in Johannesburg, South Africa, because like I said, it's a mix of Canaanite slash Jake that's all up down there. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're gonna see the same thing now because of the internet. You know, because all these nations have drunken of the wine of her fornication, talking about Babylon, which is prophetically America. Okay, but we're gonna go get the famous one of Elder Apostle R's famous scriptures. Y'all should know Amos 7:17, and it reads, "Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, thy wife shall be a harlot in the city." Right, that city is talking about Babylon the great city Babylon, which is America. So whose wife? Israel's wife. All right. Well, let's put it this way. Um, the woman that belongs to the Israelites. So your women, Israelite women, that's the wife. Okay, so your wife, as a so-called Neo-Latino Native American, the woman that's supposed to be yours, she's moving like a harlot in America, man. And the Houston rodeo and this whole spring break exposed that. They're on TikTok, it was going viral on how not just one couple, but two couples was in a car with no tents, with the windows down because it's hot as fuck in Houston, 80 plus degrees in that humid weather, and they were people trying to say they was dancing, but other people were saying that they was literally fucking and sucking dick in the front seat and in the back seat on a two man in the car, and it looked like a medium sized sedan at that. It says, "And thy sons and daughters shall fall by the sword, and thy land shall be divided into line, and thou shalt die in a polluted land, and Israel shall surely go into captivity forth of this land." But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, these women is a harlot in the city, man. No matter where you go. You know what I'm saying? You go to a restaurant, you thinking you good. You know what I'm saying? I remember going to a restaurant. It was like literally almost a week after Valentine's Day. Women, bitches, is still celebrating their fake ass Galentine's Day with it's some shit where single, bitter, lonely, independent Keisha come together and and wear the same fucking pajamas and record themselves twerking and get drunk together, and who knows what happens after that. And these women come in some literal boy shorts in the fucking restaurant. Three women like in a uniform with they ass jiggling all out, and other bitches, other Keishas looking at her like, yo, what the fuck, man? You see what I'm saying? This shit is going too crazy, bro. It's going too crazy, man. All right, let's continue.
Women, y'all women go out any type of way. Them African men, they have control over their community. You have nothing. You as a black
Not ask them Niger, them Nigerian men if they got control over their Nigerian women. Fuck no. Fuck no. All right? Them Igbo tribe women, fuck no. Them Ashanti tribe women, fuck no. Niggas don't got no control over them fucking women, man. You see what I'm saying? It's the same shit. All right? Now, do the Ethiopian Cushite man got control over you? Damn right. The Somalian women, you damn right. Okay, the Algerian, Moroccan, um, Tunisian, Libyan women over men over their women. You damn right, but not no Congo, Cameroonian, Nigerian, Sierra Leone, Liberian, Ghanaian, Ghanaian, however you say it. They don't have no type of control over their women. Fuck no. Why? Because they're Israelites and they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28 still until Yahweh Shah comes back, man.
American men, you have nothing. Your woman is out of fucking control. Houston is a telltale sign of whole culture in the black community.
And they saying that the STD rates was already high in Houston. Houston is now number three largest population in America. I've been to Houston. I got family in Houston, Spring, Texas. You know, big up the Houston brothers out there. You know what I'm saying? I met a lot of the Akim Houston brothers out there. You know, y'all Bashim Shah, Barack Atham to y'all Akim. You know, so let me show you exactly. Let's say what they talking about. Let's type in Houston, Hugh Houston, spring break. Look, number three. See what pops up. See if I could show you some fucking Houston spring break horror stories. Break was whether you was watching my videos or you heard it on TikTok. Going viral. Spring break chaos hits Houston streets and businesses. Houston spring break was wild. Houston spring break horror stories. It's a shame. Spring break week 2 in Houston. It got worse. Waiting to happen. Academics reacts to footage out in Houston rodeo. Everyone's catching HIV in after spring break in Houston. Houston turned into war zone during spring break. Houston is the devil's playground during spring break. The young niggas came to Houston during spring break and ruined Houston spring break stories. Let's get a story since it's short. I swear to God, I'm trying to laugh, but we can't help but laugh. We do not. Nah, she talking about how niggas was getting scammed. I don't really even give a fuck about all that. Um, yeah, the fights. I was really trying to see some some dancing shit, or to show how their apparel was during that. But I guess it's too lewd for YouTube. Too lewd. But everywhere you go, it's constant spring break chaos. Constant spring break chaos. All right, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm gonna just get some more scriptures. This is Isaiah 3, starting at verse 16. It says, Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty, and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet, that super strut to make their ass jiggle so that you can see all of that. What's all that movement back there? So you can see that shit is because of is that minkling and walking with their feet, man. All right. It says, therefore the Lord will smite the scab, the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, because I promise you that 90% of women out there in Houston spring break of Keisha had a wig, lace front extensions in their head. Promise you that. I'll put money on that. And I'm not even a gambling man. All right. It says, and the Lord will discover their secret parts. Yeah, what they do in secret, and the things that's supposed to be secret, like they ass and pussy and they titties and cleavage, you know. In that day, the Lord would take away the bravery of their tingling ornaments about their feet and their claws and their round tires, like the moon, the chains, the bracelets, and the mufflers, the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tablets and the earrings, the rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles and the wimples and the crisping pins, the glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the veils. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of girdle, a rent, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth. See, you don't think that like come like yo the Bible, bro. It is yo. Every time I read the Bible, it blows my mind. How could something that was written 3,000 years ago explain what I'm seeing today? Why is it a trend for black women, especially on TikTok and shit like that, to wear waist trainers, fucking girdles and shit, man? And the Lord is talking about how He's going to take away all this shit, all these yoga leggings that hold in all of that loose ass beer belly, gut. That you know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck? Yo, it's crazy. And burning instead of beauty, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war, and her gate shall lament and mourn, and she shall be desolate, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So the Lord is saying that all these things that you have acquired, the vintage is going to fail. The liberty of you being able to travel and have the money to go out here to be hoes and to suck and fuck five dicks in on a Friday night and a Saturday night, and to go back home and wipe your mouth and say, oh, I've done no wrong. All right. All that shit is about to stop. He's gonna take away all this shit. You see what I'm saying? All the ass shots and the BBLs, all the Botox, all the nose ring, the septum rings. The Lord gonna take away all this shit. All your little douches, and you know what I'm saying, your pH balance, hygienic shit and all that. He taking away all of that. Because when shit hits the fan, there is no access to resources. So your true nature gonna come out on who you really are. And then we're going to see the Lord, and man is going to see you who you really are. And at that time, if you're not dead yet, you're going to be looking for some protection, and it's going to be up to the man to pick and choose through the Spirit if he wants to put his rod of his God rod inside of you or not. Because that's the only thing of why he's going to be wanting to deal with you in that day anyway. Because and that's what the woman is going to be like. Yo, listen, I know you a man. I know what you want. All hell's breaking loose out here. These Edomites and other niggas, they raping women. They killing them. They eating them. The women is eating their children. You feel me? There's no food in the street like that. But I'm able to, make my own little scraps of things I can find, as long as I could, stay in your under your protection in your household. And I know you fucking all these other women as well, and these all your women and all that. Can I be a part of this little stable, this little system that you got going on? And look like you got something going on here. And then the man is gonna be like, nah, I'm good, if he feel like. And then she gonna get mad and shit. You know what I'm saying? And and she just might get deleted, however the Lord chooses. You see what I'm saying? But this is the type of time we coming into. They're talking about nuclear weapons on main streets media right now. Fuck is you talking about? And niggas is going and acting retarded out here. You see, every single day we are praying unto the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Hamashiach Yahushai Bahasham Rakakwadash. All right, it through the Holy Spirit to prepare us and to keep us safe in these times that we see coming, because we want to be and we're actively pursuing prudence. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Lord willing, that's edifying to the elect. I'm gonna get another one, Lord willing. I got another video, coming up, Lord willing. I don't rock the Zah, so Lord willing, that's edifying to the elect. All right, and with that, I'm gonna say Shalom. Let me read through the comments real quick. Khan, yeah, to the brother focus on the kingdom. Yeah, Eve hasn't changed her tune since the garden. That's a fact. It's actually gotten worse. She's been in rebellion towards our holy father since the beginning. You're right, because rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, you know? Well, yeah, Eve doesn't receive any benefits in doing righteousness because it wasn't their lot to be righteous. Period. It was the men's lot on this time around. They'll be righteous in the kingdom when they have the new bodies. But the woman wasn't meant to be righteous. Did we not read the wisest man? And this is not coming at you, brother. You know what I'm saying? But just to land back of what you said in Solomon, you see, which was Yahweh Shai. He said, "Out of 1,000, I found none. But out of 1,000 men, I've only found one that is righteous. But even him is likened unto wicked devices. So even the righteous man falls, but he gets up again. But out of the woman, there is no righteous woman." All right. Because personally, not personally, through the scriptures, all of our righteousness is as filthy rags. This is why we need Yahweh Shai. You see, but he's going to blot out the transgressions and give the sure mercies of David unto the men, and those that are under their protection is going to receive those benefits by being under their house. Remember, Noah was the one that was prophesying back in those days, and as in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. But yet, 8 people were saved from the first death, complete destruction of water, because of the works of one man. This is why it goes into Corinthians saying by the first Adam was sin brought into the world, but by the second Adam, he would take that away and bring salvation, roughly paraphrasing. So one man can bring a lot, you see? So by your works, the woman that is under you or the children that is not yet at the age of accountability and things of that nature that is under you, they're going to be saved because of how the Lord looks at you. I mean, look at us on a macro scale. The reason why he's dealing with us is because of the promises that he made with individual men. Abraham, an individual. Isaac, an individual. Jacob, an individual. So for Wadi Al Bashem Yahushua for not being a liar and having the remembrance on the promises that you made to one man, Abraham, to one man, Isaac, to one man, Jacob, and that nations and companies of people is able to receive it. Even Yahushua, he said, you know what I'm saying, that you would be co-heirs with him. So him getting the reward and he decides to share it with us, man. You know? So Lord willing, you know what I'm saying? I was edifying to the elect. On to the next one. Shalom.